Hey, what's up everyone? Hichai here from Amrap. Today we are going to answer 10 questions that are commonly asked when buying a massage gun. After maybe going through 10 or 20 guns, here we go. First question itself, most people would like to ask if the massage gun really works. So first of all, you have to understand that what a massage gun do. In the end, this is just a percussive device. It helps to break down tight tension and tight knots like a hammer or like a drill. So if it's a muscle knot issue or a muscle tension issue, then a massage gun is going to help with your problem. But if you are experiencing pain or you are having joint problems, nothing to do with the muscle, I would say that the massage gun is not going to work for you. Seek for professional help, maybe from your rehab trainer or a physiotherapy. They will be better able to guide you on how you can do to recover yourself and not try to self-treat with a massage device, because if you do it wrongly, it's going to cause bruising, maybe even more harm than good. So does it work? I would say that it definitely works, but only in releasing tight muscle tension. Next up is, if I already have a massage chair, do I really need a massage gun? Massage chair is more like Thai massage, right? So maybe they oil you up, it's very surface, they just slide through reps after reps after reps to loosen up and to relax the muscle. But if you are going for like a deep tissue massage, that's where a massage gun comes in. Very targeted, pinpoint, trigger point release. So you'll find a spot, you can stay there for maybe 30 seconds to 60 seconds, give it a little bit of rubbing to break up the tight knots and tension on that particular spot. So this is what massage gun is actually good at. But of course, if you want to have like a massage chair experience with the massage gun itself, you can do that as well by using maybe a flat head like this, and you can do your sliding, gliding, pushing. You can do that as well. But of course, in the end, there's different techniques that you can use to release your tension. Try the trigger point release style where you find particular sore spot. You can stay there for a minute, give it a little bit of rubbing to break down the knots, and then you can move on to the next spot. That's how I like to do it. So the main difference between a massage chair and massage gun, a massage gun can go deeper on specific area to release the knot using percussive, but massage chair won't be able to do that. They just go through the motion. So I would say that it's a very different kind of experience between a massage chair and a massage gun. Next thing, there's so many guns out there in the market. What kind of gun will be suitable for you? The main difference is actually in their power output, how strong you need the gun to hit. So it really depends on individual. I always put it this way, that if you go to a masseuse, you need a very strong guy, very deep tissue guy, then I'll probably go for the stronger units, maybe like the Flow Pro over here, like the Theragun Pro, Prime. All these are in the stronger category. So how do I determine whether the massage gun is in the strong category or in the weak category? First of all, you have to look at the stroke distance itself. So the amplitude plays the biggest part. Stroke distance, 14 and above will consider very strong. Like Flow Pro is 14, and Theragun range for the Pro, Prime and Elite is at the 16mm range. And of course, there's a compact gun as well now. Compact gun is at 16mm as well. Then the rest of the gun over here that you see, they are in the 11 or 10mm range. Next main factor will be the stall force. For Theragun Pro, this is at 60 pounds of stall force. So which means that if you try to press in, it's very hard to stop. It's very hard to stall, therefore it's called the stall force. So if you are a therapist, you're working with someone that's very tight, or if you are someone who really likes a very strong massage, I would say that the Theragun Pro is currently the strongest massage gun out there right now. If you don't need something that hard, that firm, Terragun Prime, I would say that it's more than enough for most people. Flow Pro is also the same. It's more than enough for most people. 14mm at 60 pounds of stall force. They actually have the same amount of stall force as Terragun Pro. However, the amplitude is shorter. So I would still say that the Prime might feel a little bit more punchier as compared to the Flow Pro. For this little gun, the stall force also plays a part, but normally this kind of 10mm range, their stall force is around 20 to 30 pounds. Anything under 20 pounds, like this kind of $20 to $50 kind of massage gun, is really very weak. So if you try to apply pressure on it, it's gonna stall on you very quickly. If you don't need something so strong, you can come down to 10 to 11 mm range, or even the 6 to 7 mm range, right? Which is over here. So in the end, I would say that every gun will have their pros and cons. It really depends on the strength that you really need. Doesn't mean that the harder the better. If it's so hard, but it's too painful for you, you won't want to use it as well. Always go with what you need. Does the angle really matter? Terragun really go in very deep into this sort of like a ergonomic style, like maybe even this model itself, 99 degree. To me, really, it doesn't really matter that much, because in the end, the part that we want to hit the most, which I would say is the scapula, which is the area just right behind the back over here. Regardless of the gun that you pick, none of them is going to be able to effectively hit and target that area, unless you are very flexible, you want to bend your hands to the back. If not, none of the gun will be able to do it. Even with a handle like this, you are not really directly targeting the back area. So if you say that you just want to target the traps, all the gun can do the job. Terragun can do it this way. Flow Pro, not a problem at all the same. Unless something like this, which doesn't have any angle, something like this smaller one, no reach at all, this kind will be harder to use. I don't really recommend people to get this. I would say go for the Flow Mini, or even this China massage gun over here. This kind of gun will give you a little bit more angle to it, much easier to use. Does a removable battery really matters? Why only the Pro model of most of the device have a removable battery? So I would say that it matters if you are a therapist. You want a product to last very long. Normally, if electronic products, if they fail, in the end it's all because of the battery. So if the battery is not removable, after the warranty period, maybe of 1 year, if the guns break down, that's it, you have to throw the device away. Of course, if you have a device that comes with a removable battery, you can just buy a new battery and just replace it in. That would be good. Another scenario is that if you're a therapist, you need multiple batteries, you can charge one and you can use one. That's where you get endless battery. That's where the Pro comes in, where they have 2 separate batteries for you. So a lot of therapists, they actually like the removable battery on the Pro. If you're just using at home, the removable battery is not that such an important factor. So does the weight of the gun actually matters? Certain guns, they are really unable to make it that light. So if you are a lady with small hands, you will want to choose a lighter and smaller grip handle kind of device. That will be much easier for you to hold. Unless someone is doing it for you, then of course weight doesn't matter, right? You just care about the strength. With a higher weight, it means that they have a bigger motor, stronger motor, even a larger battery life. I think you need a strong massage gun, then no choice, right? You got to get a heavier one. This is half the weight of this. The strength is quite a big difference. This is only 7 to 6 mm. This is 10 mm amplitude. This one definitely will pack a bigger punch as compared to this kind of hand-sized micro gun. It's pretty confusing to see that some guns have like 20 speed, some guns have like 10 attachment. Does it really matter? To be very honest with you, even if they have 20 speed, the max speed is only at 3,200 RPM. If you go even higher than that, especially with a very high amount of amplitude, it's gonna cause a lot of pain, uncomfortable feeling, because it feels like the gun is actually slapping you instead of giving you a deep percussion massage, just like Terragun itself. They are 16 mm, and why do they choose to only stop at 2400 RPM? They can easily go higher, but they choose to stop at 2004 because that is a very comfortable range. It doesn't feel like it's slapping you. Compacts, the max speed is at 3000. I feel that this is a little bit over. I normally will tune it down one level and stop at the 2400 range when I'm using it. So for speed itself, 3 levels is more than enough. A slow, a medium, and a heavy. For this kind, they have 6 levels. I don't really use 1, 2, and 3. Normally I start from 4, 5, and 6. For the attachment itself, if they give you 6 attachments, 7, 10, I think most people will only use that 1 or 2, pointy one, the sharp head, or ball head, just like something like this, or soft ball head. That will be the most commonly used one. You may not ever find yourself changing out the attachment because it doesn't make that huge of a difference. Unless you are talking about like a softer foam kind of attachment where it really reduces the impact of the gun. You are treating sensitive area, yes, that will be very useful. But for most people, either you go hard or you go for the soft one, which is like the medium head, something like this. Right now, some guns, they have Bluetooth enabled, like Hypervolt or even like Terragun. Does it really help with anything? It doesn't do much because most of the things you can control on the gun itself. Why do you want a gun on one hand and an app on one hand? It doesn't really make any sense to do all the controlling on the app itself when I have it here. But of course, the app is pretty good. Like Terragun app, you can just download it. If you are very new to a massage device, they will guide you along on how you can release the tension. They will show you maybe point A to point B, on your quads, do 60 seconds, move on to the next spot. I think that's a very informative kind of guide. Unless you like to track when you are using a gun, or get alert, they will remind you to start using a gun again. Some of these higher end guns, they do come with pressure sensor. Maybe it's just not for me at the moment. The pressure sensor detects that you're not applying any force and they ask you to press harder, but you are already in pain. So why do you want to press harder, right? If you really need to press very hard and you're at the peak of the pressure, the app itself sometimes will actually alert you to tell you to reduce the strength. They don't know the situation that you are in currently, right? So I would say that it's not very useful right now. That maybe the pressure sensor can help with the maybe practitioner to remember, how much pressure I use. Different client, different timing, different problems. So most of them go by feel from my feedback currently. Yep. So pressure sensor, Bluetooth, not necessary at the moment, I would say. Next question is China gun really bad? China gun are not that bad. All the guns are made in China. None of them is made in other countries. Flow is like a UK brand, but it's made in China. Terragun, US brand, made in China. Hypervolt, US brand, made in China. In the end, it's really about picking the right China brand. If it's too cheap, too good to be true, it's normally a fake advertisement. Maybe they send you another gun. The gun that you ordered might be defective, and things like that. We already filtered some of the better China gun like this and this. These two are really pretty good. They are very quiet. People actually relabel their brand on the gun itself if you have enough quantity. It's a very common thing in China. They can easily find them on Amazon, Lazada, or even Taobao. If you buy from this kind of website, you normally won't be able to get a local warranty from it, but you definitely can get it way cheaper. With this gun itself, we are selling for $299. We know that someone is selling for $399. And if you buy from Amazon or you buy from Taobao, you probably can get it from $200. It is the same thing, no doubt about it. You can make a comparison, you can come down and try it. I will tell you, it is the same thing. Just be careful when you're buying them. We do give local warranty, therefore the price is a little bit higher. It's pretty good. Last thing, sound. Does it really matter? Like this very cheap one that we are selling, this is $159, very quiet. This is like max speed already, pretty silent. Most of the gun in this 10 to 12 mm kind of range should be pretty quiet. with the technology advancement, unless the quality of the product is really bad. If not, I would say that most of them sounds the same. You can say this is the same. Of course, after long use, wear and tear and things like that, guns need to be maintained, and it really depends on the parts that they use. Certain cheaper brands might use a little bit more plastic. After a while, you know, the plastic break, there's wear and tear, sound can get a little bit louder. But in the end, I would say that most of the gun in this range should be quiet. A lot of people having bad impressions of sound, mainly due to Terragun in the past, like Gen 3 of Terragun, Gen 2 of Terragun, they really sound like a drill. Starting from Gen 4 onwards, Terragun itself have upgraded their model. They are really not as bad as what most people say. Definitely you will be able to use it in the room. There's a little bit of noise here and there. This is the Terragun Pro model at max speed right now. So it's really not as bad, but definitely there's a lot more sound as compared to the rest of the lower range gun. I believe they are trying to work on it to make it even quieter, but because of the stroke distance, the movement itself, all the higher range stroke distance gun will have a little bit more noise as compared to the other guns that is available right now. But if you really need the strength, you really need the pounding effect, you have no choice. Stick with the sound. It's really not as bad. That's all for today's video. I think I covered most of the questions that are commonly asked. If I leave out anything, just leave a comment below. I will try to answer them for you. And thank you so much for watching.